Hello, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to some streaming content in the background here. And why am I making this specific video? It is because I have gotten tons of comments on the 69 tips shorts. I made a video with 69 tips. Very nice video. I highly recommend it to go watch it. And if you follow the shorts and seen those, a lot of the comments have been incredibly positive and supportive, and people have been getting a lot of help and learned new things about Satisfactory from there. And on the other hand, I have had a large amount of negative and bullying content or comments, sorry, from there as well. And here's the thing, I am perfectly fine with someone telling others how or sharing how they make the game enjoyable for them, right? Like hearing different ways of playing the game and stuff like that is great, but there is an equal measure of people who are judgmental and gatekeepy because they don't agree with the way other people play it. They see them as playing the game wrong, or they're cheating, or whatever it is. And this is my video basically advocating for you should be able to play the game you want. And the funny thing is, the short that is literally named Customize Your Game Experience, like that's the tip, has all positive comments. It's on some of the other 68 the tone can get really weird. And I just want to get into this, and I want to make sure that we establish a baseline for, like, if you're gonna keep watching my channel and enjoy that and not like feel bad or feel resentment towards me or anyone else, like, or rather feed that resentment, I want to put out, like, I want to make this video. Satisfactory to me is a creative sandbox. I stand for player choice, and just like in Minecraft or in any other game, there is no right or wrong way to play it as long as you have fun. Here's the thing, if you agree with that, if you agree with, like, people should be able to play the game they want, people should be able to play whatever, and that's the kind of content you come to like YouTube to watch as well, then definitely subscribe to this channel, because that is what I advocate. I always try to inspire and widen horizons and learn new things myself and do all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, right now I'm not streaming, but we do talk a lot about this in my streams. So when I do stream or start streaming again, definitely come and hang out with us in those streams. Now, when it comes to cheating, to me, cheating only exists if you compare or compete against others in a public way, or if you've modified your game experience and that cheats you of the enjoyment of playing the game. Those are the only two times that I can say, like, hey, you're kind of cheating. And in either way, am I judging you? Worried, maybe. Judging, no. And to bring up a little bit of a very clear like line here, single player games versus multiplayer games. In a game like Satisfactory, that is largely a single player game. You can play it multiplayer, but it's largely a single player game. There is a psychology of extrinsic value and external validation when it comes to a lot of it, including for single player games, where it's like, tell me I'm doing good, like, tell me I'm whatever, right? It needs to come from outside. You can't tell yourself, hey, I did a good job. Like, everyone to some extent needs some level of someone else telling you, hey, you did a good job. And it's okay to want that. It's okay to look for that. And what's not really okay is, like, kicking down or kicking others because they do other things to get that kind of validation, and or they have a different level of need for it, or whatever. Like, your value system might literally be different, where theirs might be more intrinsic, and they might need more internal validation. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Now, talking about competitive versus non-competitive, hardcore versus casual, and pro versus non-pro. Competitive versus non-competitive, they are never long-term healthy. I am a former competitive elite athlete in martial arts, and I have damage to my body that happened when I was like 14, 15, 16 that will never go away. There is nothing different with any other competitive field. The only difference is where the damage is. You cannot do this long term in a healthy way. It does the entire point of it is to push beyond those boundaries, and that will always hurt you. And I used to compete semi-professionally in Counter-Strike and the old like Battlefield 1944, I think, or 1941, like the Bad Company. This was before esports has been established as an industry. It was a non-viable career choice at the time. Otherwise, I would have chosen that. I picked martial arts as my thing. I went on martial arts school and everything. Either way, competitive versus non-competitive. Like professional gamers and content creators are working. They have an entirely different approach to how they play the game. They look back on videos, on like recordings of their matches and everything, and they like analyze every single move, every single frame, and they like there's a level of detail that means that professional gamers and content creators to a large extent can't be held up against any other category for comparison on rarely each other, because between different games, between different teams, different people, there are so many different values at play that comparison in general tend to be just bad for you if you are not. It's bad for you if you're in those fields too, but it's really bad if you are a non-professional trying to live up to what a professional is doing, and like it doesn't work. You're just gonna hurt yourself, and in the process you're gonna hurt your enjoyment of the game. And it doesn't give you, like, you feeling that you are better than someone else doesn't give you the right to tell people that, right? Unless you are in a literal competition and you're talking about who wins the competition, it makes no difference to you or to the world. And it's super, super important that you do realize that when you come in and you tell someone it is not okay to play in XYZ way, if you activate flight mode, you're cheating and you are worthless, or anything you do in the game is worth less because it didn't put in as much effort. Effort is such a big part of how we value things. We value so many things based on how much, I spent 400 hours building this thing, so the effort makes it more valuable. No, like that's how we value things, how much effort was put into it. And it doesn't work. Like, it's just hurting. It hurts you in the long run, and you might take a new budding gamer and kill their enjoyment for the game. And that's just bad for the game, it's bad for the community, it's bad for everyone. And it makes no sense. It gives you maybe a sense of superiority for a minute, but it's generally just shit. I want to end this video by going through a number of suggestions for how you can modify your experience in Satisfactory. There's going to be ways to make it easier and ways to make it harder. And you need to combine and test some of these, if you want to test them, to find your sweet spot between making the game easier and making it harder, where you enjoy the challenge, but you don't feel hampered by the difficulty or the busy work, and then at the same time, not so easy that you feel like the game isn't giving you anything, and because of that, you're not enjoying it. Because a lot of Satisfactory and other games like this is about playing and then running up against a problem and then using the game mechanics to solve that problem. But if the problem and solving it at its core does not give you enjoyment, make sure that you don't engage with it. Modify your game to not engage with it and add something else in instead. So, here's something that I'm going to go through. We will start with making it easier. So, number 1, mods for stable 1.0 right now, and like later 1.1 when that gets released. Make it easier by adding mods that makes it easier or changes the game so that you have more accessibility to different mechanics that doesn't usually exist in the game. 2, remove exploration by giving yourself those exclusive resources that you can normally only get through exploration. Mercer spheres, summer sloops, hard drives, power slugs, or power shards. 3, enable blueprints from the start of the game and bring in blueprints from other saves or from content creators or from like the fixit.app like database. I think its calculator also has a ton of blueprints available that you can just download. Activate flight mode to make traversal easier. Turn off power so you don't have to care about power, or the same thing, like turn off so you don't need fuel. Turn off build cost. Have all alternative recipes unlocked from the start. Make yourself start in a later phase. If you've already played through the game, I highly recommend skipping through the parts of the game that you feel are tedious. So, for example, start in phase 3. If you don't like phase 1 and phase 2, you want to jump straight into like fuel power and fixing with all of that, then go straight into phase 3. Or give yourself 9 here. Give yourself 500 awesome coupons to start out with, and like make sure that you can just like have those coupons and get access to everything in the awesome shop straight off the bat, or buy parts or whatever you want to do. And number 10, give yourself a jetpack and a box of packaged liquid biofuel at game start. If you don't want to go with the full flight mode, you still want to like run and like do the acrobatics and traversal, then like just give yourself a jetpack and a box of packaged liquid biofuel, like a full container full of it or something, where you know that I will always be able to access and use my jetpack. Now, here's 10 things that will make the game harder. 1, start in a spot with highly aggressive and dangerous animals, and of course set them to default. 2, the floor is lava. You can only set foot on buildables. If you fail or fall, you have to put one summer sloop in a vehicle and drive it into the void. Or modify the punishment for failing to fit your desired level. 3, no over or underclocking and no slooping at all in the game. Like, you have to use the machines as they are and balance it out as they are. No over, no under, no slooping, no nothing. Or here's another one. Number 4, only belts allowed. You cannot use vehicles. And the reverse of that, number 5, you can only use vehicles. So once you've extracted something from the miner, you immediately run the belt from that miner into a truck stop, and then from that truck stop, or like a drone stop, or a train station, whatever it is, from there on, it can only be transported via vehicle until you have to put it into a different machine, at which point you have a station and you belt it into that machine, or like pipe it if it's liquid. Then you have number 6. You cannot use the dimensional depot. Back before 1.0, this was standard. We didn't have the dimensional depot. A great challenge is go back to those days and relive the nostalgia of really bad inventory management. 7, no fuel power allowed. As in, you can do biomass, you can do your coal power, and then you cannot use fuel power. If you want more power, either make more coal power or go to nuclear power. That's your choices. Like, that's one challenge. Number 8, you have to automate elevator parts. You cannot create manual crafting setups where you feed boxes with parts and they just do the thing easily. No, no, no. Every space elevator part you make has to be automated. Even if it's just one part a minute, it doesn't matter. Like, they have to be automated. You cannot do temporary manual crafting setups that isn't hooked to any miner or anything like that. Automate space elevator parts. Number 9, you cannot use handcrafting. Period. Starting materials or crash sites, their parts are allowed, and only... Oh no, sorry, I like the full challenge here. This is like big difficulty. No handcrafting. You cannot like delete your starting materials, and crash sites parts collection is not allowed. The only way that you can get parts, if you want them, in the beginning, is you need to tame lizard doggos. That's the only way that you can get parts. You've removed everything else. You cannot use it. You can only get them from lizard doggos. Once you've automated a part, you can of course grab that. But let's say that you want iron plates. Okay. Go get a lizard doggo and hope that it rolls like that's what it finds for you. If you want to have a bigger chance of variety in that, get more lizard doggos. Get 10 of them, 20 of them, I don't care. But the challenge is, don't handcraft, you don't use your starting materials that's in your inventory at start, or you don't collect parts from crash sites or anything like that. That's it. That's the challenge. And number 10, and this is a big one. This can really, really challenge you. No alternate recipes allowed. That is the number 10. And these 10 easier, 10 harder, and if you can figure out a good balance between these, or try out which ones feels good to you and which ones feel bad to you, then you can probably have a really, really good game experience. If you feel, and this is a big one, right? If you want to play the vanilla experience with no modifications, no advanced game settings, no mods at all, and no extra game rules like what I've suggested here, that is just as fine as someone wanting to play modified. Okay? We want to see more support for creativity. We want to see more people talking about their experiences and not feeling afraid or targeted because they didn't necessarily do it the hashtag correct way. Where people should be able to play the game they want to play because it is fun to them. Okay? That is all I want. Like, I don't care, personally. If you attack me, I don't care. If you attack anyone else by the way in how you are giving me feedback, in how you are commenting, in how you are talking about your game experience, I will hide you from the channel. Like, you cannot comment on my videos anymore, like, at all. Like, you're gonna be hidden. Or you can comment, just no one's gonna see them, not even me. Like, they're gone. That is what's gonna happen, because I don't stand for it. And with that said, I do love all the support I'm getting on the videos, on the shorts, and everything. And like I said, I can't stream right now, but I'm so much looking forward to when I can stream again, because you guys, hanging out with you guys is always some of the best times I have. And I'm really, really looking forward to when we can do that. Now, if you have thoughts, opinions, if you have an experience you want to share on this, if you have suggestions for ways of changing the game, if you've tried any of the ways that I've suggested, and you have thoughts on that, put it all in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that kind of stuff as well. And if you want to go above and beyond, head on over to Patreon, and you can support from $1 a month. And yeah, like get access to some of the cool stuff, like cool like exclusive chat in Discord, where we have a little bit more in-depth chat about the channel. And this is specifically want to support the channel and support my journey as a content creator. That's for you. Now have a great one, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.